So with me here, I have Pastor Henry. What a great host he is. But we're on our way to find a comfortable location to hear his story of how his sister-in-law in Qatar came back to life. The COVID pandemic was in full swing across the face of the earth. And despite the fear, despite the narrative that was being heard on the airwaves, a man of God was debunking all the lies. And at the same time, the word of God was arising, and testimonies were coming forth of people raised from the dead. And I'm sitting here right now to introduce to you, the viewer, Pastor Henry. We're in the Seychelles. Welcome, Pastor Henry.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
Now we're in the Seychelles, but this testimony starts in the Seychelles and the fruit of it is in Qatar.
Now, it was in 2021 when there was lockup, and my sister-in-law contracted COVID. She went to the hospital and she was told they need to do further tests. And then when the test came, confirmed that she was COVID positive. So they directed her to a COVID facility. So during that time, we kept constant communication with my wife and myself. But it took like 2 or 3 days without having contact with her after she went to the COVID facility. So everybody got concerned, got worried, because we used to communicate with her 4 or 5 times in a day. I was preparing to go to work. I received a call from the phone of my sister-in-law.
Hello, Winnie. How are you? Why are you breathing like that?
When I received the call, only what I had was her grasping for her. She could not breathe. Like somebody was, she was not breathing well. Like, she was just trying to breathe. And then all of a sudden the phone went silent. So I left, I went to work. When I got to office, the way I had my sister breathing, something is not right. So something needs to be done urgently. So what I did, I took the picture of the hospital that I Googled online. I printed the picture. I put it on the Rhapsody of Realities. I wrote her name. Then I went on my knees. I started praying.
But now it's time to meet Winnie herself. She's still in Qatar, and we are going to go across now to Qatar to have a word with her. You have a remarkable story that started during the COVID lockdown. Please start at the beginning of your story. Let's hear what happened.
It happened in 2021, around February, when I was not feeling well and I went to the hospital. Upon arrival to the hospital, they took all the tests and they told me I am COVID positive. They told me to lie on the bed and they started checking on me, and they were like, "How are you still standing?" And I was like, "Why are you asking me like that?" They said, "Your lungs are 93% affected. You should be in full oxygen." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And they brought for me a wheelchair. They put me in the wheelchair and they took me to a room. I was staying in that facility like 2 days. I became so sick, the temperatures and everything. And the last time I could remember, I was grasping for oxygen, and all of a sudden I found myself somewhere flying. I was flying, and it was a very big land, deep in the forest. The land was so big, and I saw a white chariot flying with 2 white horses, and my mom was there riding them, and she called my name, Winnie, and I heard her voice, but I didn't bother to respond anything. She asked me, why are you here? And I couldn't answer anything, and she told me, you cannot be here. Chariot continued flying, and after flying for a very longer distance, just like how the experience you have while you are in the flight, I saw the chariot was about a bit landing. My mom told me, this is where you should be, and I woke up. And when I woke up, I opened my eyes, and whatever I saw, people's body, they were bigger 3 times than the normal size. Some eyes had bulged out, some tongues were outside, the mouth were open, and I realized this was a morgue because the place was so scary, and I screamed, and an attendant came running, and they blindfolded me and took me out of that room to another place. Then they took me to another room, and there I was able to call my family. When I came back to life, my brother-in-law told me he used the Rhapsody of Reality to bring my life back. I love the Rhapsody of Reality. It saved my life. I love it. I read it every day. I'm a student of it, and it means something so important to me. A big thank you for Pastor Chris for writing this Rhapsody of Realities. Thank you so much.
This is the power of Rhapsody of Realities. So as we come to the end of this beautiful episode that straddles 2 nations from Qatar to Seychelles, we bask in the pictures and visuals of heaven and the life to come, narrated in vivid detail by Winnie. This is Raised from the Dead.